Hi, I'm James and I do things, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to list your iPhone on eBay safely. Now before we get into the eBay listing, I just want to say a couple of things about what you should do to your phone first, and I have made a separate video about it, but I'll just tell you in a nutshell now. You need to, you need to reset the phone, but before you do that you should take pictures of the about screen, which will tell you the exact model, the iOS software revision and the storage and things like that. So you can show people the top bit of the about screen, but don't show them the bottom, which is the IMEI number, which you should record for yourself, just in case someone tries to, if someone buys the phone and then sends it back to you and says, oh, I didn't like it, or it's no good, and then they actually send you a different phone altogether. So yeah, I've done a separate video on that, so I'll link that up here somewhere. I'll put a card. But yeah, other than that, I hope you find this listing useful. I'm recording this after I've listed the phone, and I sold the phone in 20 minutes. So this is going to help you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks very much. Okay, so now it's time to make a listing. So we're going to come into eBay. So on whatever computer you use, you can do this on the app as well, but I'm going to show you on the desktop because it's much easier for me to record. So assuming you're on desktop, you just come onto eBay and you're going to come over to My eBay and go to Selling, or you can just go to Sell. We'll just go to Sell actually. And now I've got a business account, so mine might look slightly different to yours, but this brings you through to the same place, which is this is all the Pokemon cards that I'm selling. So I'm going to come over here to Listings and Create Listing. Okay, and then we're going to do, this is just things I've sold in the past or drafts, so you can ignore that, and we're going to start typing iPhone. So the first one I'm going to sell is the I'm going to sell the iPhone 12. It's an iPhone 12 Pro, and then what it should do, once I've done that, is it should take me through to a screen where it's, here we go. So because it knows about smartphones and it knows everyone sells smartphones on it, so you come through here. This bugs out sometimes, but hopefully it's going to work okay. So ours is an iPhone 12 Pro. There we go. So select your phone. It is unlocked. It is a 128. It's blue. Is it blue? Yeah, it's blue. Actually, what colour is it? Yeah, it's blue. Okay, it is for, so we're going to put this one as used because it does work. It's in poor condition, it's got a cracked screen, but it does work. There's nothing on it that doesn't work, unlike the other phone I'm going to be selling. And this one actually comes with a box. Let's just check what it comes with. So in my case, I've got a box and a charging cable for this. So charger and cable, original box, and then we're just going to click continue. So trending price is $4.20. We probably won't get anything like $4.20 for this, but so we're going to go to, right, so now the first thing to do is put your pictures in. So in my case, I've already taken my pictures, so that's it. Okay, so I've added some photos. I actually forgot that this phone comes with a box, so that's going to be my #1 photo, I think. So I'm going to rotate it, and I'm also going to mess around with the, I don't need to crop it, but I am going to tweak the brightness a bit, just make it pop. Okay, done. So that's going to be the photo and the title are your main weapons for basically getting your item seen. They are the things that people are going to see first. So it's good to put, so for instance this picture here, people always want to see the phone when it's switched off. In our case that looks absolutely horrendous. So I'm going to put that picture last, which you could say is a bit sneaky, but in reality, you know, we want the most money for this phone, and that is the truest picture of the phone. That is what it looks like when it works. It's a great phone. It is, you know, it works fine. So it would be kind of, if we put that as the front picture, that looks like it's just been run over, you know, or something. It looks horrendous. So we'd get a lot less money. People will still see that, you know, they're going to come and look at it. That will probably put some people off, but we've got to put it in. If we don't put it in, we'll just get asked for it. So it's quite frustrating. So for the photos, photo of everything it comes with, picture of the back. That would probably be my next best photo, so that I would put that on because that looks pretty good. Picture of the front when it's on, and then that one's the information about the battery. That's the information about the phone itself, the storage. In fact, that's the next most important thing. Confirm that it's a 12 Pro, not just the 12. Confirm that it's 128 gigabytes, which is a shame because it's actually the smallest one they do. And then, because we've done the front and the back, we just need to do all the sides. So this shows the corners, the bottom where the port is, and things like that. And then obviously what it looks like when it's switched off. So that's the photos done, and we're going to come on next to the title. Okay, so the title is that's your main weapon for being found in search. This is actually, you know, people aren't going to see the photos most likely unless you've got this sorted out. The default comes with lots of brackets and hyphenations and stuff. I take all that out. I don't know if it's still the case, but it used to be that Google, if someone searches, say, oh, I want a new iPhone, it doesn't search very well in eBay if you've got hyphens and brackets and basically any non-character or non-letter characters. So I'll basically take all the punctuation, hyphens and stuff out because most of this it will give you, and then I've put cracked screen, so we're not getting people bidding on it and then realising when they see the last picture, oh no, I didn't know it's cracked. So we're telling people in the title. People will still miss that because the people, you know, it's eBay. But we're putting works well, so we're qualifying it and saying this is a good phone, and then we're saying boxed, so we're trying to draw people's attention to the good thing. So for any eBay thing, I usually have the thing that it is at the front as the first thing. So Apple iPhone Pro 12. So these are all your search terms, and then at the end I try and just put something to differentiate it between other people's stuff, just to make it look better. So this is the kind of the first I'd say 70-80% of the title should be for the eBay search engine, and then the last little bit just to sort of make it stand out and get people in. So we're going to come down here. This has all been populated for us because it's eBay knows what's in the phone. I have no idea. This is all witchcraft to me. We're going to put, so it's factory unlocked. We're going to put that in. Model number. No, it's got 12 Pro. I don't need any of that. Country of manufacturer, no idea. Probably China. I don't want to go anywhere near any of these, honestly. This is all right. Condition. So you need to do the condition properly. With the condition, be as honest as possible, really. I'm going to write it all out now, and then I'll pause recording, and then I'll come back. But the guiding principle is be as honest as possible, but maybe put the best stuff first and put the worst stuff last. It just gives people a better. You've got to pull it all in there, but usually I would say first impressions last, and I always put the good stuff at the front. Okay, so I've written the description. I've tried to put the good stuff first, so I've put the phone is in good working order, but the screen is cracked, so I've been upfront about it. The cracks are purely cosmetic and don't affect the use of the phone. Cameras work front and back, touch screen functions all work fine. Rear of the phone looks great, minor wear and tear around the cameras, but they work fine and look okay. Edge bezels have some wear as per photos, so it's always good to say, yeah, they're fine, go and look at the photos, go and look for yourself, because a lot of particularly wear and tear is subjective, so it's, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So just the main screen looks bad, and it's worse when it's switched off. And in fact, I'm going to put the main thing when it comes to condition is the battery health. That's another. It's a huge thing for people when they're buying phones. So I'm going to put battery health 100%. Okay, so that's that done, and now we need to do the description. So this is where we're going to really sell the phone. So I will come back in a second when I've filled all this in. Okay, so I've written the description. the eBay's actually taken away a lot of features from the description, so I'm just going to see if I can add them back in. So I'm going to click show all options, see more options, here we go. So the first thing I've done is I've copied the title from up here, and I've put it in. In fact, I've changed the title slightly since I realised that I bought a screen for this phone and then never fitted it out of fear of making it worse. So I've put this bit of business about the extra screen in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bold that up, and I don't think you can underline things anymore. That's really frustrating. But I am going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it 18. There used to be a lot more options. You used to be able to make text really big, and you still have to underline as well. I'm going to bold this business about the replacement screen because it's quite good. It's almost tempting to put it in the subtitle. Subtitles are quite expensive, given that the listing will either be 30p or it'll be free. But the fact that I'm mentioning an extra thing that's worth £60 means, and this will probably go for. So the medium sell price is £3.17. So it's tempting to do that, but I won't do. 99 times out of 100, I would definitely ignore the subtitle. But there are certain circumstances when you need to. So, quick statement comes in the original box with charging cable. So it tells them what they're getting. So phone, box, cable. The screen is cracked, but it works fine. So just trying to allay their fears and say, look, it's fine. It just looks a bit rubbish. And then just saying, I bought this phone. Just telling them a bit of a story. It's the truth. That's always the best story. Basically, I bought the phone and I was going to replace the screen, but I haven't done. The battery health is 100%. They're always going to ask about that, or anyone, and they always want to know: is it iCloud locked? Is it network locked? No other issues except for the thing. Postage. I always state the postage on my eBay listings. So usually towards the end, just say postage. I'm only going to send it to a UK address. Because this is on a business account, you can send things through the eBay global shipping program. So basically you just send it to like a warehouse somewhere in the UK, and eBay deals with all the kind of taxes and sending things abroad and the risk, which is really handy. However, phones are such a high risk item, and I find that if I say I'm going to send it abroad, if I put it on the global shipping program, I get people from all over the world who desperately want an iPhone but clearly can't afford one, bidding on it, and they don't pay. So I tend to basically, I've had people buy them from, I've had a couple of people buy stuff from Africa, and then have it shipped to basically an independent sort of place in the UK, which then ships stuff all over the world, and that's fine, because I don't mind that, because that's not my risk anymore. I'm going to ship it to a UK address, and if someone wants to try and defraud me, I'll say no. I've shipped this thing to an address. Here's the postage that says it got there. That's all I need to know. But what I don't really want is to be sending it abroad myself. So I'm stating that there to a UK address only, because that's where I live. And then returns. I find the returns thing, it's not so much for information as giving people confidence. So if you're saying, look, as a business seller, you have to accept returns. There's a minimum of 14 days, certainly in the UK. But I find that the number of people who will actually return stuff is very low, and it's worth, for the ones who do return things, it's much better to put returns and have the occasional one than to say no, I'm not having a return, and it just puts people off. So yeah, don't do it. Format, I'm actually going to use an auction for this. I'll tell you what, no. Okay, so we're going to put buy it now because these phones, they're so popular, and it should get a lot of views. I do prefer doing auctions, but the trouble is, people, like I said, people from all over the world bid on them and then they don't pay. At least with buy it now, you're going to get So we'll do see sold listings. This function doesn't always work. Cracked screen. So that one sold for $3.17 at an auction, but that was in December, so that's not particularly helpful. Okay, so what we are going to do, we're going to go in my head. I think I bought this phone for 200 and something, so we'll do iPhone 12 Pro cracked. Cosmetic cracked rear. Right, so then we're going to come down here to sold items, and then we're going to just put, I'm going to put UK only. So that was a Pro Max. The Pro Maxes are bigger and then they're worth more. So that was 370. So I'd expect this to go for 300. That's a 256. So that's bigger than ours. Ours is a 128. So again, that reinforces my belief that 300 is a fair price. That's a Pro Max. That's Pacific Blue. That's what we got. So that one went for 280. That was at auction, and that was yesterday. That's a 12. That's a Pro Max. That was a Pro Max. So that's 275, 280 for the size that we've got. You see, that one went for 350 with a cracked screen. I mean, our screen's probably more cracked than that one. Okay, so I think 300s. There's a few gone for auctions at 280. So I think if we put buy it now price 299, that's probably fair. So we're going to go 299. I want, I've got a bill to pay. What I can do is by putting it on for buy it now, I know I've got 3 weeks. So if I put it on for a week and it doesn't sell, that gives me another week to put it on an auction. And if I get messed around in the auctions, if people don't buy or people don't pay, then it gives me the chance to just do like 1-day auctions after that to get rid of it. So as I've got a little bit of time, I'm going to put it on buy it now. I'm not going to allow offers to begin with, because you just get lowballed with iPhones. You just get businesses come along and just spam you with, if you put it for 300, people just spam you with, oh, give you 150, give you 180. You get some quite aggressive sellers. So the postage is a bit different when you've got a business account. Essentially, you can ignore that bit at the top. You want to do domestic postage, flat, same cost to all buyers. For Royal Mail, because it's an iPhone and it's worth more than, I think, basically you need to go for special delivery. I think recorded delivery covers you up to 250, or signed for as it's called, and then track 24 I think only covers you up to 100. I'm not sure, but I don't think once you get to kind of £300-400 plus, you need to go for special delivery. And then there's another, once you get over 500, it's still special, but there's an extra. Basically, you need to take more insurance, so it gets more expensive still. So postage is going to cost me about £10. It's between 7 and 10, I think, which is fine. So I'm gonna put free postage, because I'm just lumping it in. Just keep it simple. If I was doing this as an auction, I might start it at 99p, but I would put £10 postage. So dispatch time 1 working day. I'm not going to have international postage, so I'm not going to send it using the GSP, the Global Shipping Program, and I'm not going to have any alternative postage. I don't have any rate tables. Rate tables are more for other countries where it costs different amount to send stuff in the same country, or to, if you send a lot of stuff abroad. So for instance, in America, sending stuff from New York to LA would cost a lot more than sending stuff from, say, New York to Washington. So that's why that exists, but in the UK it doesn't really exist. Although the only time you could use this is if you were sending something to, say, the Highlands via non-Royal Mail related stuff, or to Northern Ireland, which then it does start to cost you more, even though it's still the UK. So package weight, you can ignore these. It's good to know what your thing weighs. Make sure your address is in here. I'm not going to promote this listing, or will I? Tell you what, I'm going to promote it, but I'm going to put it in at the minimum, which is 2.
I mean, eBay's going to take about 13% of this, which is going to be quite a lot. If we're selling it for 300, that's going to be 30 plus 3. So you're going to be talking nearly £40. So whatever you put in here, like if you put 10% in, that's before VAT. So eBay's going to take 2%, and then it's times by 1.2. So your 2% is actually 2.4. So I'm gonna preview it. This doesn't always work. Hey, it worked. Right, so there we go. Just check, basically check it looks how you'd expect it to look. Check the price isn't stupid. Scroll down, see the title's nice and big. The bolding doesn't really work that well. Battery health, returns, postage. So that all looks good. That looks fine. So I'm going to list that right now. List. And that's it. That's how you list a phone. Okay, so after I finished making that video about me listing the iPhone, I went and made some lunch, and literally before I could finish making my lunch, I got a message to say that it had sold, which just shows you the power of eBay. So I've put some stuff up to block the buyer's information, but essentially, yeah, he bought it straight away. And he bought it for full price as well, and it didn't even go as a promoted listing, so I don't actually lose that extra 2% that I put in. So so I've made £300. Okay, I might have gotten 315 or 320. You know, if I could have possibly put it up a touch higher and waited a few days, but that, you know, just goes to show that you know, if I put that on an auction, I would have waited a week, maybe been sort of had my time wasted by someone, and then, you know, and had to put it on more auctions and more auctions. But now, literally 20 minutes, got my £300. So really happy. I won't get all 300 of that. I'll just do a quick. I will probably get. I think it comes out at. Phones get done at a lower rate when you're a business. So there's something like 6.9 times 1.2. Okay, so I think eBay will take about 9% of that. So 0.09 of. That's what we'll do it on the calculator. So 0.09 times 299. Okay, so eBay will probably take £27. So £272 in my bank. So that'll probably go in. Today's Saturday. eBay will basically, that'll be in my bank on Monday morning, which is great, which is what I need. So now I've got another phone to list, but it's brilliant. So this just goes to show you the power of eBay, really. And when you need money in a hurry, this is, you know, it's a really good way of doing it. You know, you've got 20 million people at your fingertips.